Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. It is Thursday, May the 20th. That's right. Good to have you with us. We've got your HCC news and information, and it's Thursday, meaning Virtual Family Fun Thursday. We'll have more on that in just a few moments. Brittany Pacheco's joining us on the show. Brittany, good to see you on there. We were talking about something yesterday, and we've got a bit of an update for folks.
Yeah, we did talk. We did talk, very briefly about the governor's executive order about mask mandates, and we do have an update for all of HCC in regards to that. Take it away.
So that's right. Yesterday, of course, earlier this week, the Governor Greg Abbott released a mandate that masks were not going to be enforced or required within government buildings, and that was going to start June 4th. We had told you yesterday we would get information from our administration and pass that on to you, and that information was sent out in the form of an email from Vice Chancellor Kurt Ewan. He is the Chief of Staff and also the Vice Chancellor of Strategy Planning and Institutional Effectiveness. And according to this executive order GA36, prohibiting governmental entities and officials from mandating face coverings or restrictive activities in response to the COVID-19 pandemic inside of government buildings, and goes on to say, effective immediately, face coverings are no longer required at HCC facilities. So keep that in mind. When you go visit a facility, you're no longer required to wear a face mask. But Brittany, as we mentioned, it's a voluntary thing. You are encouraged to wear one, not required. And we're encouraged to follow the 3 W's, which the chancellor had sent out not that long ago. You know what those are?
Yeah, I think without looking at the script, I think it's wear your mask, wash your hands often, and watch out for social distancing.
Watch your social, yep, that's exactly right. Watch the social distancing. So yeah, Brittany's got it down. So remember those 3 W's as you go onto campus. You're certainly welcome to, maybe we should change it, maybe change it to, you're welcome to wear your mask. So welcome to wear your mask. And you can get on campuses. But keep that in mind. It's no longer required, or it will not be enforced effective immediately. That means today and from here on out. Things change, we'll certainly let you know. Let's get to today's show, Brittany. But first, we want to remind everyone about our social media.
Yeah, that's right. If you want to find out some of the latest updates from HCC and you're not really equipped with your email, you should be, just saying. You can always find out the latest from us on our social media pages. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, also LinkedIn. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Leave a comment if you'd like. We will respond. Last but not least, to our audience, please help grow this podcast by sharing the podcast on your personal newsfeed. Click that share button at the bottom. And Todd, let's get into today's show.
We have got a great show lined up for you. Of course, we're continuing to highlight Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and it's Virtual Family Fun Day. We've got a spotlight on a dance from India. Shwetha Iyer is joining us this morning. She's from the Geetha Dance Center, and she's our guest this morning. Good morning, Shwetha.
Hi, good morning.
Well, we're looking forward to talking with you shortly and hearing about this dance and the center itself. So we're going to ask you to stand by, grab a cup of coffee. We'll be with you in a few minutes. All right, so we're going to kick things off. It wasn't that long ago where it made national headlines because the East Coast of the country was virtually out of gas. That's right. Colonial Pipeline, well, the company that ran the pipeline, apparently were hacked. They had a cybersecurity attack. And all of a sudden, the East Coast was out of gas. I've got so many questions regarding this one, so we brought in the experts to tell us all about it. We've got Samir Saber. He is the Program Director of Continuing Education in IT and Digital and Information Technology Center of Excellence here at HCC, and also Farrish Betton, Program Coordinator, Petroleum Engineering Technology from the Global Energy Center of Excellence, also here at HCC. Gentlemen, good morning to you. Thanks to you both for being here.
Good morning, Todd.
Morning.
So, I guess I want to start off with a couple of things. I'll focus this one on to you, Farrish, because this is the big question that I'm trying to wrap my head around. So this company was hacked and they had a cybersecurity breakdown, more or less. Samir will tell us about that in a moment.
Okay.
But here's the question I have. gas is pumped to depots or to certain areas. Then it's taken from the area where the gas tanks are to the stations by trucks. But almost immediately when this pipeline was hacked, there was a disruption. It seemed like it should take a few days before that disruption happened. What exactly happened there?
Well, anytime an oil company or a transmission company, like a pipeline company, has a problem like that, where they've been hacked, production is slowed or stopped, then they're going to send out the maintenance crew, make sure that no one put any backup anywhere in the pipeline. And so, as I understand, I said, okay, explosion. What do you have to have an explosion or a fire in that type of setting? Well, you got to have three things. You have to have oxygen, which we have plenty of that. You have to have material like fuel. Well, the fuel is gas, all right? But then the strange one is you got to have an ignition source. Now, these men are not going to come out there and have these big fire, things blowing fire around there. Surely not that. And so I said, okay, there's got to be an ignition source. And found out that they did send out the maintenance crew, number one. The maintenance crew forgot to review the procedures. If you're going to go out in the field, check the pipelines, now you're going to have to excavate a little bit too. And so if you walk around the house and you touch your wife or your child and you spark them, that's enough to set off a spark like that. So where did something like that happen, on the transmission line? But the only thing I could think of, and this is what they said, was that as the bulldozers were shoveling the dirt, and when to get down to the pipeline, the metal bucket had to rub up against the pipeline itself to cause a spark. That's the only source that they could come up with a spark. Now, we teach our students that. Those are the three things you have to have in order to have an explosion or a fire or something like that, because they're working these plants. So whenever they see this, they should know what to do personally.
So are you saying that more or less this was, once the company had this attack, everything was shut down as a precaution?
Yes.
So it was disrupted really by the company. So the gas at the gas stations, once that was gone, it was gone. They weren't going to deliver any more gas.
They weren't going to deliver anymore.
I got you. Because
the pipeline was shut down.
Right.
Now, if this has happened in another way, I say, well, maybe the transmission company, Continental, maybe they shut off and to convert over to a backup mechanical system. Right. But that didn't happen. So I just discounted that.
Right. Samir, I want to bring you into the conversation because a lot of people are asking, how did this happen? I mean, obviously the pipeline wasn't hacked, but the company that ran the pipeline, their system was hacked. Yeah. Were they just not suitably prepared? Was this a breakdown? It sounds like it was after the hacking, there were some more errors that happened on behalf of the pipeline operators. But what happened here with cybersecurity?
Well, Todd, it's still being investigated because it is quite a large attack. So the Department of Homeland Security and the CISA group, which there's a lot of intel agencies are looking into it. The first ones that were contacted were the FBI. And then there's some private sector companies like FireEye and IBM's X-Force. They're all looking into it to really assess what's going on. But typically, it could just be, one person that got, phished through an email. Sometimes it's as simple as that. Or it's some sort of supply chain attack where they attack the vendor that's tied to them, and somehow it breaches everything.
I know our IT department always warns us about the phishing, and we have to take yearly training to make sure we're up on everything as far as cybersecurity. But could it be that because Colonial may have had employees working remotely. Some of them may have been working on unsecured devices. I know our IT tries to make sure they lock down everything we're using that goes back into HCC so that we're on a secure network. Could that have possibly played a role in all of this?
Yeah, definitely. And I think the actors that did this, which what's being thought is dark side, is this hacker group from Russia that's behind this. But what's being told right now is they weren't aware that they were actually attacking Colonial Pipeline. You see, so sometimes these hacks, they're automated and they don't realize when it becomes a big deal and it becomes a federal issue and nation state actors involved, then you see a lot of media behind it, right? But these kinds of things happen just all the time. It just doesn't make, the headlines.
There's something called, I was reading through my notes, cyber hygiene. What is that exactly?
That's just taking the basic precautions to be safe out there virtually. So doing things like having a password manager, using two-factor authentication, like the security code to your phone, for example. It's those kinds of things.
Farrish, is something like this, now that it has happened, it's been exposed that, our infrastructure, our pipelines, which get fuel to the depots, to get them to the trucks, to our gas station. Is this something now that is maybe going to be coming up more in your classes, not only for global energy and how to produce and refine and exploration and all that, but also how you keep it secure? Because this is exposed, the United States in a way that we really didn't want to be exposed like this.
Not like this. You're right. We've been looking into merging certain classes, introducing cybersecurity concepts, and for about a year now. And of course, we had to get all of our amendments and program amendments together. Then we want to maybe work with other departments in HCC, because the digital world has come into the oil and gas industry, where a lot of the computers and software and everything is running almost everything. So yes.
Samir, a lot of things people are saying now, well, of course, when something like this happens, well, we should federally mandate things. But is there there's obviously a federal mandate in place, and maybe you can tell us a bit about that.
And so President Biden just released a 30-page long executive order recently in response to this attack, because this was a huge deal. And there's another attack called SolarWinds you can look into that impacted 18,000 companies. But the long story is that we need to do a much better job in terms of protecting just basic things. So some of the things you'll hear is a zero trust approach, which is basically to not trust anything or anyone. Instead of centralizing, when you trust someone and you give them access, instead of doing that, it's basically treat everybody and every computer as if they're foreign. And so thanks to cloud technology and innovation in that space, it's becoming more of a thing. But that's not the only thing. The other mandate that he wants is to enforce the two-factor authentication that I mentioned. So anytime you log into a system, especially if it's an important system like a Colonial Pipeline, those kinds of systems, you have to have a secondary way to verify who you are. I always said, I think it should be the law for any website, any business, anything that you use, you should have a mechanism, and there are tons of them, to basically really identify yourself.
Farrish, I want to bring you in for the final question. Are we in a better situation here in the Houston area along the Gulf Coast because we have all the manufacturing of gasoline and fuel in our area? On the East Coast, they're depending on us to ship it to them. But are we in a better situation than they were along the East Coast when something like this happened?
It's one of the reasons why I moved here, because we are. Yeah, I think so. We have several resources that we can pull from here in the Gulf Coast. And actually, I'm finding out that they are expanding, rather than just kind of holding steady. They're expanding, even though it may appear otherwise.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Farrish, Betton, and of course, of Samir, Saber, we appreciate you both being here. Folks, if anything, the last couple of weeks have proven to us we need people to make gasoline for us, and we're training the next generation here at HCC, and we need more cybersecurity experts out there, and guess what? We got programs for that as well. We'll have links to both of these programs in the social media post for this show. Gentlemen, thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
All right, we are going to move on. It is Thursday, Virtual Family Fun Day. Shwetha Iyer is joining us. And Shwetha, you are from the Geetha Dance Center, and you're going to tell us about a dance called the Bharatnatyam. Maybe you can tell us about that. Did I hit the pronunciation anywhere near close?
Close.
Okay.
So the name of the dance is Bharatnatyam. And it is a classical Indian dance form. It's originated from India, from the southern part of India, the state of Tamil Nadu. That's where this dance originated from. Initially, or very long back, the history was that it used to be performed in the temples and in the courts in India. And eventually, after a few years or after several years, it moved and it became widely popular even among the local people, and there were a lot of teachers who started teaching dance, and that's how the dance form is now popular, not just in India but also even outside of India.
So this started at the temples, and I imagine, thousands of years ago, and has it transformed as it's been passed on amongst a more broader audience over the years?
Yes, it has. So it has transformed, it has moved into, because you have several dance schools that have been established in India that.
Oh, did we lose? Well, we may have lost Shwetha. Iyer.
One of the classical dance.
I think we lost you
Can you
for a
hear me?
second. Go ahead. You're back.
Oh, sorry.
That's right.
So, so yes, it did originate in the temples, but then it also, like I said, when it became popular, there are several dance institutes in India that started teaching this dance style. So yes, it's popular now.
How is it performed now?
So to recognize Bharatnatyam, you have a fixed, your torso is fixed and, you're staying still on the top part, but your knees are bent. You're using a lot of hand gestures, facial expressions to express to the audience what the dance means. And through your hand gestures and through the dance steps is how the meaning of the dance is communicated to the audience. You have in that several types of it, where you have a pure dance where there are more steps performed, and then you have certain dances where it has a combination of steps and facial expressions, which we call nitya, where they are performing that in combination. And there are some dances where there are more just only the facial expressions, where you can express happiness, sorrow, different emotions to express the meaning of the song.
I would imagine the sequences are important and how you do that. Maybe you can tell us about that.
Yes, so we have, there is a set sequence in Bharatnatyam that's performed. It usually begins with the slower dances, and usually they are the invocatory dances where we are asking for the blessings of our teacher, who's called a guru, and also from the audience. And so it starts with the slower dances, and then it moves on to more complex dances where there's a combination, and even the songs are a little more faster and quicker. And there is a sequence where it starts with a dance called Pushpanjali, where it's an invocatory dance. And then you have Alaripu, which is also seeking the blessings of the audience and the teacher. And then it goes to Jatisram, which is, again, like I said, it's a complex combination of steps and expressions, where it goes to another dance, which is called Varnam, where it is usually a longer dance for about 5 to 7 minutes, where it's a combination of dance steps. as well as facial expressions. And then you have the more lighter dance forms where it's also a form of rest for the dancer, but at the same time, it is more of a storytelling where the song is being expressed by the dancer through her facial expressions and dance steps. And usually towards the end, we have a tilana, and that has more rhythmic, brisk, fast movements, which also kind of indicates to the audience where it's your ending or going towards the end of your program.
Where can people watch your performances? I know you're with the Geetha Dance Center. Did it originate in India? And obviously there's a local connection as well.
Yes. So Geetha Dance Center is my dance center, and it was established in 1970 in India by my grandfather. And it's my mom, who's also my teacher, Geetha Sharma. She has been teaching dance. She's also probably watching this online right now.
Well, hi, Mom. Yeah, well, congratulations.
And so she has been, so she's been in the forefront, and she has taught several students from 1970, as you can imagine. So several students have performed from her. I also train under her. And what happens is usually once the kids learn a set of dances, they get to perform an arangetram, which is called a first public performance, where they are performing in front of a wider audience all the dances that they have learned. So about more than 300 students have performed this arangetram through my mom's dance institute. And then when I moved to US, to Houston, I opened the Geetha Dance Center Houston branch, where I am currently teaching my students here in Houston. And I'm teaching it online right now.
And your mom still teaches to this day. May I ask,
does.
if you don't mind, how old is she?
Yeah, she is. She's 68.
Wow.
Because of COVID, she is only taking the classes online right now.
Right.
But otherwise, pre-COVID, she has several dance centers, several institutes. And I forgot to mention one thing. Last year in 2020 was the 50th year of our dance institute.
Well, congratulations there. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, thank you.
Let me ask you this. Some people we may be watching this, and they may say, you know what, I'd like to learn this or see this. Where can they find you online, and can they just enroll in classes? How would that work? So
you can, I'll send my email shortly to you all. And
okay. We'll have that in the social media post for the show.
Yes, yeah. So they can just get in touch with me online. And like I said, because of COVID,
right
now I'm only conducting the classes online. I'm not doing any face-to-face.
Awesome. We appreciate you being here and giving us a glimpse into the Geetha Dance Center. Shwetha, Iyer, we appreciate you joining us on the show. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Stay safe. Okay, we are going to move on to Brittany with our news and announcements. First off, some congratulations are in order for one of our own, Brittany, Dr. Timothy Snyder.
That's right. He has been named Associate Vice Chancellor of Teaching and Learning Innovation. Dr. Snyder joined HCC in 2017 as Dean of HCC Online and Instructional Technology, but due to the COVID-19 crisis, he assumed additional duties to assist instructional services in transitioning all instruction online and preparing our faculty for distance learning. In his role as the ABC, Dr. Snyder will continue to provide leadership for online instruction, as well as faculty professional development, instructional design, and oversight for the Centers of Learning Innovation. So congratulations to Dr. Snyder on your new role.
Congratulations to you. We'll have to get him on the show so he can talk to us about his brand new role. Okay, HCC Central's campus is home to a little known or sometimes forgotten spot of peaceful tranquility. During Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, we want to thank our own Ray Milano from HCCTV for reminding us that the statue of Confucius was erected in 2010 by the American Confucius Foundation. It is located on our central campus. You can't miss it. Incredible piece of art. It's honored among many there. Who made this happen is the late Dr. William Harmon, who was the then HCC Central President, and current U.S. Representative Al Green. They were both played a role in that. The House of Representatives also recognized the 2560th anniversary of Confucius' birth and his invaluable contributions to philosophy in social and political thought. If you get a chance, get out there today, check out the statue. It's certainly a welcome sight on the Central Campus. All right, the Ideas Pitch Competition. We've been talking about this literally since the beginning of time, for a long time. Well, it's coming to fruition today.
Yeah, that's right. After months of creating with a conscience, 18 student finalists will finally present their ideas before judges at the Virtual Ideas Pitch Competition. That's going on today, Thursday, May 20th. For more information, go to hccs.edu/pitch.
You need money for college? Well, the HCC Foundation can hook you up. Let the foundation help you pay for college. Just complete the online application. It's part of, all or part of your tuition, fees, books, all can be paid for by a scholarship. They're out there. A lot of times you just need to sign up and claim them. Deadline is Tuesday, June 15th. We'll have an email address for you to send them an email if you have any questions. That'll be in the social media post for the show. Gallery Without Walls, that's happening online, Brittany.
It is. So student artists from all HCC colleges are showing what they've created this semester on Instagram, again, since campuses' art galleries are still closed. Now, the non-juried exhibition features studio classes from our entire HCC system. So that's, again, going on Instagram. We're going to include that handle to check out this non-juried exhibition on this post after the show.
Okay. HCC's fast track training for free. That's right. We've been talking about this for a while, and it's well worth mentioning again. We have a list of training programs, short-term certifications, some of them within a few weeks, up to 6 weeks, a few months in some cases. But we have a whole list of programs, welding, medical programs as well, logistics, cybersecurity. You heard us talking about that and the need for it. You can take these courses, get your certification within a matter of months. All your tuition's paid for. How do you do that? Go to one website, sign up for it. They'll send you an email and get you on the fast track. hccs.edu/fast-track. That's the website, and we'll have that in the social media post for the show. We are going to kick off this summer just in a matter of weeks, Brittany. Students getting back in the classrooms with in-person learning.
That's right. So we do still have open spots for our summer registration as well as fall. And yes, students can attend small face-to-face classes for both semesters. You just have to register now because those small face-to-face classes are offered in limited capacity. We do offer a total of 5 course options, including hybrid courses that will also be small, as well as our online courses. So be sure to take advantage of one of these 5 course options and register today by going to hccs.edu/now. As always, as former student, to you all out there, it is crucial, absolutely crucial to be sure you secure those courses with the teacher that you want, the time that you want, and the location that you want. That's if you're doing in-person courses. So once again, check out our programs and register today by going to hccs.edu/now.
Okay, we're about to wrap up today's show, but tomorrow it's Film Friday. We've got Alex Bentley of Culture Map be on the show, talk about some movies. I'm going to see every one of these: Spiral, Army of the Dead, Cruella, and A Quiet Place Part 2. I may see most of them this weekend. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going to go see all those movies. So that'll be on the show tomorrow. And then our resident poet will be here, Brittany.
Oh, Dr. Jimmy Adams. He will be back to share with us another one of his poems. And this one is entitled, It's a Matter of Life. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for Dr. Adams' poem.
So Frank will be here tomorrow. Brittany, you're back next week, right?
That is correct.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. I'll be back tomorrow live right here at 10 a.m. on Up to the Minute.